Sportscaster Stephen A. Smith brings some hard truth to Dems. He says Trump trial just shows they're scared. All facts, all facts. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, he's kind of toting the line. I don't know why he just won't come out and say that he supports Trump. He's toting the line, I guess, because of the liberal people he works around. He has to toe the line, but at least he's been for the past few months expressing himself more about why people like him like himself and black people are actually supporting Trump, even though he's not actually coming out and saying that he's supporting Trump. He's like I said, he's walking a weird line here. But I'm gonna play the video clip of him talking about this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Red State, from Bob Hogg, and he reports that sportscaster Stephen A. Smith is a loudmouth. He probably wouldn't even object to that characterization. I agree, he wouldn't. He know he is. Who sometimes has some terrible takes, but also sometimes has some good ones. And here's an example of one of each. But before I get to these examples, I will say he speaks his mind most of the time, even though I might not agree with him all the time. But at least he speaks. He most for the most part speaks what he believes. As for calling him a loudmouth, the article goes on to say, I don't even consider that an insult to him. Most successful sports opinion hosts have large personalities and take bold positions. Otherwise, they wouldn't get very far. On his podcast Tuesday, he brought Democrats some hard truth and pointed out that the ludicrous hush money case against former President Donald Trump, which is currently in the jury selection phase, again, this is ridiculous. It's just one giant political stunt, and the only reason charges were brought in what promises to be a circus trial is because Dems are terrified of losing the presidential election in November. They're using lawfare. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. They're using lawfare because they know they can't stop him during the 2024 election. They know they can't beat him at the polls without doing any type of shenanigans. So that's why they're attacking him. They're using lawfare, trumped up, no pun intended, charges to try to take him out. But they're making a huge mistake because that's why Trump is gaining more and more support, showing that the system is rigged against him, like it's rigged against most Americans, particularly Black Americans, are starting to wake up and see that the system, if they don't like you, if they don't like your political views, if they don't like your stances and your takes, they will come for you. But let's listen to Stephen A. Smith here.
To my liberal friends out there, all you're doing is showing that you're scared you can't beat them on the issues and the merits.
They can't.
That's why he keeps saying it's a political campaign against me. That's why he keeps saying they can't beat me at the election, at the polls. This is the only way they could do it. Mm-hmm. And if you don't put him in jail, and he still goes from being the presumptive GOP nominee to the official GOP nominee, and he goes to the polls, even though he was going to whine about winning and being rigged again, you have given more fodder to that argument.
Facts.
Which means we'll never have peace in this country because tens of millions of people see.
That's the thing, though. Leftists, the liberals, they don't care about peace. They just care about winning this election. They want to stop Orange Man at all costs because of his mean tweets. And so they would use the system against you to take you out.
What extent the other side is willing to go through just to keep him out of office because they can't beat him on their own merits.
Facts.
And they're going to say, hey.
They can't. They can't beat him on his own merits. If you look at every single barometer that matters, I'm talking about the economy. I'm talking about safety. I'm talking about everything that most Americans care about. If you care about those things, there's no way you will vote for Biden. There's no way, because he's destroying the average American's way of life. Unless you're a part of the top 1%, you're losing right now. Everyone. But here we go.
You trump this up against him again, and we'll have no peace. When all you got to do is figure out a way to beat him.
They can't, though.
On the issues.
They can't.
But you haven't been able to do it.
Yep. They can't. That's why they're doing it. And Smith calls himself a moderate, unaffiliated with either major political party, and I don't imagine he's going to suddenly become a vocal Trump supporter. But at least he's willing to tell leftists the truth. In 2023, he admitted we need a new president because Biden was simply too old. He was right about that, but he couldn't have been further off with his ridiculous idea for a replacement. California Governor Gavin Newsom, oh my gosh, he would be worse. Look at what he's doing in California, whose main claim to fame has been burning the Golden State to the ground. I mean, it just came out that 24 billion with the B dollars disappeared. They have no accountability, don't know what happened to $24 billion that was supposed to go to the homeless. It's just crazy. And then they continue to give Gavin Newsom more money to just throw at anything, and we know that it's fraud. We know that they're taking that money and giving it. They know exactly where that money is. So I don't know why they try to act like, oh, we don't know where it is. They probably giving it to some of Gavin Newsom's pals and stuff. But I digress. Smith said the hush money case proved progressives were scared. He said to all my liberal friends out there, all you're doing is showing that you're scared. You can't beat them on the issues and the merits. That's why Trump, keeps saying it's a political campaign against me. That's why he keeps saying they can't beat me at the election, at the polls. And if you do go to jail, the former president, all you do is convince half of America that our system is hopelessly rigged. This is the only way they could do it, he said. And if you don't put him in jail, and he still goes from being the presumptive GOP nominee to the official GOP nominee, and he goes to the polls, even though he was going to whine about winning and being rigged again, you have given more fodder to the argument. And again, this is the point I was making. People are seeing it. People are seeing that the system is rigged. It's coming after anyone that goes against the leftist ideals, what they're trying to push. But the article goes on to say, like I said, Smith isn't suddenly going to see the light and become a Republican. Of course not. Again, he has too many liberal friends and stuff to even if you're inside, he might be one. He's not going to outwardly express that. But that is a solid analysis of what's happening with the endless lawfare attacks against Trump. And it's refreshing to hear when so many sportscasters have simply become shills for the left. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I stopped listening to certain stations in my car because instead of hearing about the game, I was hearing about social justice issues and DNC talking points. Facts. That's exactly why I haven't watched Sports Center for years because of that fact. And I used to love Sports Center. It's just become another DNC talking head, and they're no different than MSNBC, except for every occasional on occasions they'll actually talk about sports. But reactions to his monologue was mostly positive on social media, with many saying that while they don't always agree with him, he's right on this one. Someone named William Johnson tweeted out, the fact that I'm starting to agree with him and Fetterman was definitely not on my 2024 bingo card. Facts. And then someone named Shaw tweeted out or posted, this have been one of the most welcome, pleasant surprises of 2024. I lived to hate Stephen A. before when he just popped off on everything. Now he's calm, he's measured, and he makes a ton of sense. Good on you, Stephen A. Smith. Appreciate the grind. Like HBO host Bill Maher and so many folks, the Arthur says he knows, people on the left are starting to wake up to some disturbing realizations about the Democrats and the downward direction of their country. But then they go vote for the same people who got us here. That's why I'm so confused. Why do you, You know, we all know that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But they continue to vote these people in. But, quote, I get that these guys stink, they say, but I could never vote Republican. That's what he's saying, that most leftists that see what's going on are saying. But as they increasingly realize that there's a deep rot in D.C. and it's disgusting, and in so many blue state governor mansions, we can only hope that enough of them get over themselves by November and turn this ship around. We can only hope. We can pray for it. But let me know what you think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time.